The planning board hears new details on the plan to develop a 6-story residential building in downtown Framingham. The Community Preservation Committee makes their recommendations for local projects that could receive money, and a polar plunge aims to raise money for the local Special Olympics team. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick, and this is The Frame, Framingham News in Focus. Hello and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We start this week with an update on the One Howard project, as members of the planning board heard an update on the proposal to develop a 6-story residential building in downtown Framingham this past Thursday, March 20th. One Howard LLC, a part of the Boston-based City Realty Group, outlined updated plans to create a complex at Howard and Park Streets, adjacent to the city's commuter rail station and the Armenian Church of the Holy Translators. The current proposal features 89 dwelling units and 109 parking spots, most of which would be in a first-floor garage. Planning Board Chair Christina Johnson thanked the developers for reducing the scope of work following community input, as initial plans for the One Howard project featured more than 130 housing units.
I think what we're looking at is significantly more improved than what we have seen before.
While most of the feedback from the planning board last week was positive, member Mitchell Matorin did express caution about the building's appearance when viewing it from Waverly Street to the south. He said that a 6-story building could be a potential detriment to the vibrancy of downtown Framingham.
I guess my bottom line is that I'm not there yet. I think that there still needs to be work done on the south side and also on the west side. That presents that same problem.
Members of the community, especially those as part of the Armenian Church community, continued to lay out their worries about stormwater and flood damage that they fear could be brought on by the One Howard plan, though developers did say they were confident about their mitigation efforts following reviews from engineering firms. The public hearing on this matter is set to continue on April 17th. During their meeting at the Memorial Building on Monday, March 24th, the Framingham Community Preservation Committee recommended that 7 local projects receive a total of nearly $1.75 million in Community Preservation Act money this year. Each year, that CPA money, which is collected via property tax surcharges and matching state funding, aims to boost community housing projects, open space and outdoor recreation projects, and historic preservation efforts. Members of the committee outlined this year's set of recommendations, which will be sent along to the City Council for final approval. They include $100,000 for Jewish Family Services of Metro West's Rental Subsidies Initiative for low-income families in the area, $600,000 for handicap-accessible and ADA-compliant housing units at Carlson Crossing East, and $500,000 for the development of a splash pad at Cushing Memorial Park. Additionally, $420,000 have been recommended to benefit various accessibility improvements and quality of life projects at local outdoor trails, such as the Carol Getchell Nature Trail and the Cochituate Rail Trail. Both members of the committee and residents agreed that the language of these submissions to the City Council should ensure that all types of accessibility measures are taken.
The application itself and everything about the application implies that we're going to make it as accessible to as many people as possible, which includes disabled people, elderly people, children, less able, etc.
The Framingham History Center made a pair of CPA requests as well. $30,000 for woodwork restoration at the Edgell Memorial Library, along with $89,000 for a new fire alarm system at the Old Academy building, which currently holds numerous historical artifacts. The CPC is aiming to have these submissions put before the City Council for their approval in April. A reminder that our website, www.theframe.news, has more information on the top stories that we cover every week on the program, as well as full feature pieces we've completed across the city, a community calendar filled with local events, and more. Subscribe to our email newsletter to ensure that you never miss out on Framingham News in Focus, and tell your neighbors about how they can stay in the loop with us. Follow us on social media as well. We're on Instagram at @FrameNews_, and we can be found on Facebook by searching for The Frame. Subscribe to Access Framingham's YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever we post a new episode of our weekly news program. We also upload Frame episodes to Spotify. You can watch or listen to the show there. City officials have announced that the public hearing regarding the proposed closure of Framingham Union Hospital's special care nursery will take place on Wednesday, April 9th. Mayor Charlie Sisitsky told the City Council last month that Metro West Medical Center CEO John Whitlock Jr. had informed him about Tenet Healthcare's plans to close the Level 2B nursery, which provides more advanced care for newborns, in June. Tenet, the Texas-based company that owns Metro West Medical Center, will not be shuttering the Level 1 nursery for basic care at the local hospital through this plan. Sisitsky wrote to state officials asking for the required public hearing on the planned closure to take place in Framingham, and the Department of Public Health has obliged. The hearing will be held at Evans Hall that night. Further details on the start time will be made available prior to the event. Some notes for local commuters now. First, Eversource is continuing work on a series of projects across the area. Drivers should be aware that starting this upcoming Monday the 31st, Stillman Street off of Kendall Ave will be closed as Eversource crews carry out utility work in the area through May 15th. Only property owners and emergency vehicles will be permitted to pass onto the road. Just east of the city, another Eversource project is being conducted. Workers are in the middle of putting up utility poles in Natick at the interchange of Route 9 and Route 27, and drivers are advised to plan for potential delays on weekdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. through Friday, April 18th. Finally, the Framingham DPW has begun its annual street sweeping project. Bishop Street was swept on Thursday the 27th, the day this episode airs, and Grant Street will follow on Friday the 28th. No parking on that street will be permitted between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. And finally, a preview of this week's Frame by Frame piece. Last Saturday, a mobile polar plunge was held in the parking lot of Jack's Abbey in downtown Framingham. Last year, Special Olympics Massachusetts unveiled the plunge tank, known as Bear Force One, in an effort to make more polar plunges accessible. Money raised during this recent plunge will be used to help the local Special Olympics team, the Metro West Flyers. We spoke with local program coordinator for the Flyers, Analia Aviza, as well as some of the team members and polar plunge participants to learn more about this important cause.
Definitely wakes you up.
Yeah, it does.
All the fundraising helps expand opportunities.
When I was growing up, they didn't have Special Olympics Framingham. So I always dreamed to play for Framingham for Special Olympics, and it's fun.
As always, you can watch that full feature piece on our website, theframe.news, as well as on Access Framingham's channel on YouTube. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. For everyone here at The Frame, thanks for watching or for listening. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.